How far can a measly level 24 Talion get in the online fort raids in Shadow of War? Well, I've started a new playthrough on PlayStation for the very first time, and after 7 episodes we have finally unlocked the ability to raid forts. Just how far can I get? Will I even be able to see fortresses that have level 80 orcs? To be honest, with my currently pretty weak character and my very weak orcs, I'll just be happy to see maybe level 50 orcs. I would count that as a win. Also, speaking of that, I have only just been able to raid forts for about an hour now, and I've already been decimated by 3 people, including one person who subscribed to me on Twitch. You should be ashamed of yourself, M-boy. Here we go, let's take a look at the first fortress. Oh, a defense rating of 99. Oh my word, look at my assault rating, it's only 92. That is so bad. And look at that, we've got one orc who's volunteered. Okay, let's go get some more. Who do I even have to pick here? I mean, surely we have to go with the raid leader as the front man. I mean, he's literally called the bloody raid leader. We're gonna bring along the deathmonger as well. And that's about it, because I'm not level 25 yet, so only 3 orcs. Let's go. I am excited to test out my gear. I mean, oh god, last time I was raiding a fortress I was level 85 and I had like prestiged like 300 times, so this is going to be interesting. Yes, thank you game for the helpful message there. I think I know what I'm doing, hopefully. We're over the gate, let's shoot the barrel, try to cause as much chaos as possible. This guy is already frozen. But I've got my threshing sword, so everything is gonna be okay. Here comes the raid leader, looking great, looking red. And he immediately comes in and steals the kill. This is my first raid orc kill. Well done, raid leader. Wow, good for you, lad. The last remaining orc here looks like a bit of a toothy, long tooth guy. I quite like these orcs, I love the way they speak. Let's recruit him. I mean, it's gonna be very rare that we actually see an orc low enough level for me to recruit. First point secured, and the Longtooth has joined the army. Oh, there only is one other point. Okay, well, let's take care of these 2 remaining orcs. A very scary level 22 Blackthorn and a disgusting worm licker.
You won't make it to the Overlord.
Sorry, mate, I actually don't think anyone really cares about your long-ass dialogue. I completely dismantle them, we take the point, and then I destroy the wormlicker in my favourite way. But that only angers the Blackthorn as he proceeds to spit in my face.
While you've been fighting, I've been watching your every move. Now you're tired, and I know all your ranger tricks.
Wait, what? Wait, what? All that talk and then you retreat immediately, wow. He was talking such crazy game, and then he immediately tries to retreat right after. He's like, actually no, I'm good. I think I'm gonna go home. Let's get on in and see our first ever throne room.
You are an affront to Mordor itself. Tearing you apart is both duty and pleasure.
Kind of a boring line. Let's see what Talion has to say to that.
It's too bad both will go unfulfilled.
Ooh, Talion, this is why he's the GOAT. I summon in my new favorite bodyguard, the Shadow. Ever since the Gambler was savagely killed by my nemesis, the Humiliator. He's not immune to frost, which I definitely use to my advantage. I go to dominate him, but I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna shame you, lad. Let's fight it out. I want a clean kill. There we are, first fort raid down, 5 minutes, golden conquest gear chest. And a brand new skill point for me. Every time I get asked in the comments what is the best way to level up in the endgame, I always say just do online fort raids. Every single fort raid you'll pretty much get a new skill point. And I use that point to gain the ability Shadow Mount. Oh, this is crazy. I've got 1 orc in my garrison. I am so used to having like 400 orcs in there. Oh dear. Let's open our first chest though. Let's do that. We might as well. I mean, I haven't got much else. Okay, on to the next raid. Let's take a look at what we got here. We're at defense rating 177. We've got the Flamemonger, the Rage Mind, and the Stitch. And I completely forget that I just leveled up and I can actually add another orc. But oh well, we're going in with 3. Over at the first point, we've got the Hoglick. Oh god, it is disgusting Hoglick. We've got Gooby the Forsaken, quite an interesting looking orc. He's a slave, but he's completely green. He has no white paint on him or anything like that. And we've got the Rage Mind, who I'm a little bit worried about. He's probably going to get angry at every single bloody thing. To try and stop him from freaking out, I explode the fireplace behind him, which kind of ignites everything. I then get in there and I freeze them up. I am mixing up the hot and the cold, fire and ice, Game of Thrones. I've gone off on a weird tangent here. Let's get back to it. Once I've exploded this orc until he doesn't know left from right, I get in there and I dominate him, but not before lots and lots of bodies start exploding all over the place. Despite him being named a Hoglick, I decide to recruit him. Yeah, times are getting a little bit desperate here. I think I just need him in my forces, alright? And then my previous fear is realized as the Rage Mind goes into an utter state of anger. This combined with the other captain also being enraged is just not a fun time, so I take the point to try and create some distance. I think that I've escaped and I try to start sucking on this orc to get some health back, but then I'm shot in the back by, you guessed it, the goddamn Rage Mind. I'm able to save myself, but this definitely scares me, so I roll away like a coward and make my way up to the rooftop. I can see that one of my orcs is getting completely destroyed by the other captain, so I decide to jump down and intervene. But sadly, while I'm doing this, the Rage Mind is still shooting me, which makes it much more of a dangerous fight for me. During the fight, I'm downed by a random grunt archer, but luckily no one really goes in for the kill. I awkwardly get up, run past the captain, and try to get my guy back on his feet. I then take off running because I notice that another one of my captains is down over at the second point. My goodness, my orcs are squishy right now. I get over there and there is an absolute party going on here. There's even a massive Olog who looks to be like he's sort of an undead Stitch or something. Just as I arrive, another one of my orcs is downed, and then another one, and then I am downed myself. This raid is really not going very well. An enemy captain capitalizes on this, goes in for the kill, and I completely miss the quick time event. But in my defense, just look at how shaky this is. I lose the fort raid only after 2 minutes, and my rank is still currently 0. After respawning, I immediately go and check the next online fort raid. And as you can see, these orcs look very, very strong, much stronger than mine. They're all basically 20 levels higher than my orcs, and I've actually lost a soldier as well. So I think this is my time. Rather than wasting more effort in doing raids, I need to build up an army. And to counteract our low level, I think I need to find absolute savages. I need to find the most aggressive orcs in Middle-earth. For some reason, I decide to summon in the Longtooth, the first orc that I was ever able to capture. I don't think he's particularly strong, but maybe he can reinforce some of the other orcs in this region and help me to actually dominate some good fighters. But then right when I come out of the menu, this badass Olog shows up.
Brave Walker! The power of the Dark Lord flows through my blood. I fear nothing. Woe to you, for you will face my wrath.
I smash on into the fireplace, and of course this enrages him. Honestly, who wouldn't be enraged by being lit up and have every orc grunt around you burn alive? But for some reason I play very, very badly against this guy. I go in for the hit. He downs me immediately, and then he does the unthinkable.
That's what you are. I will not cleanse you yet.
Oh, this can't be. No, not another one. Another humiliator. Why am I cursed to get beaten constantly by orcs that just want to humiliate me and don't actually want to fight? I get up, sad and defeated, lacking confidence. I need to find an orc to get my confidence back, so I go and I stare at this table. Using the power of table, I am able to send a death threat to one of the orcs, the executioner. I think he'd make a great addition to my forces. As if my confidence wasn't already low enough, I check the notifications, and I can see that more and more people are raiding my measly fortress. Look at this bunch of assholes. There are actually so many, and I've barely even had online fort raids. Like, I think I've had it for like maybe 12 hours. What the hell is going on here, guys? And I know you're watching this video going, oh, maybe I'll do that. That'll be really fun. I'll go raid FAsterisks with my level 80 orcs in his little weak baby fortress. I'm telling you now, don't do it. Don't do it. Be the better person. Look yourself in the mirror right now. Be the better person. To try and make myself feel better, I do a bit of a gearing up montage. I start maxing out all of my gems and equipping all of my best weapons. Feeling powerful, I decide to check the online fort raids, and I can see that there's a lovely dwarf hater Olog. I previously got rid of my one, so I wouldn't mind going in there and seeing a dwarf hater again, even though everything he says sounds like my Twitch chat. I use my level up to assign a new orc, and then I give them a war grog. This fortress looks like it's laid out very messily, so I'm a little bit confident here. I revert to my old raiding tactic where I jump on my grog immediately and bring down the front gate. Once in the fortress, I am happy to find that there is just no captains defending the first point, so we immediately take it. Despite there being no captains and no real resistance here, one of my captains still manages to damage himself. Rather than downing himself in the middle of an important fight, I decide to just take care of this problem right now. And then before I can even make it to the second point, another one of my captains is downed. He didn't even make it into the fortress. I really need to get some better orcs. Annoyed by how pathetic my orcs are, I still manage to make it to the second point and we take it. At least 3 of these captains here are trying to do something. On to the third point, and I am shocked that there's no captain defending this place here. He must have saved all of his orcs for the inner gate. And you guessed it, despite there being no resistance whatsoever, one of my captains is down again. On to the inner gate, and finally, would you look at that, there are some captains here. Let's take a look at who they are. We have a beautiful singer orc, and one of the sad things about doing this is that I actually can't recruit basically any orcs that I see. I have to just kill or shame them, which is deeply sad. It's going to be a long time until I can do a proper shopping spree video. This upcoming raid series is just going to be me in constant pain. I then tame a Caragor and jump off, hitting one of the orcs. But he throws me back and he gets me stuck in this goddamn light. I try to move, but I am completely stuck in here. I can't even shoot out. I put away my sword and resign myself to my fate. We've lost the fight. This fort raid has taken more from me than you will ever know. Talion is now trapped forever inside this pillar. And because he's been made immortal from Celebrimbor, he is also trapped. There the two remain for 3,000 years. Oh wait, never mind. I can shoot a Caragor. Oh, there we go. I've jumped onto him now. I'm out! Freedom! Sweet freedom! Once out of purgatory, I proceed to get up 2 of my orcs. Because you guessed it, they are being slaughtered. I am somehow able to get all of my guys back on their feet, and then I dominate this orc that just got his absolute brain rattled by a grab. His name is the Pinch, and I would love to have him in my forces. I mean, There's not really anyone else that I can recruit, so I'm kind of just stuck with him. But he can help out here because we are being wrecked right now. And look, 3 more of my orcs are down when I come out of this. What the hell is going on? We are very much under guns here. I jump on this grog to get more of a bird's eye view on what's going on, and look at this, it is just red circles everywhere. I take the point to try and get rid of the enemy captains because I need to get my boys back on their feet. With them all finally back up, we're able to head to the last point. But whenever I arrive there, it looks impossible. There are so many enemy captains and they all seem to be enraged. I try to use my explosive attacks, but it really seems like it's no use. They are swarming us. And then tragedy strikes. My favorite orc, my bodyguard, the Shadow, is taken out. I summoned him in to try and give us more of an edge, but I didn't think it would lead to this. As the Shadow's head rattles to the floor, I lose all remaining hope. And as if I wasn't already battered and broken enough, my Deathmonger's head is exploded by the rat. This fortress has shown me that I am truly outgunned, and I need to make a better team. But then I am somehow able to get up 2 of my orcs. But when I go to get the 3rd one up, I am hit down by an Olog, and I miss the skill check. I spawn back into my world to see utter destruction, orc carcasses lining up the area. It's time to build a better team, and I believe that we can counter the Olog rat that killed the Deathmonger with a rat of our own. This one gets enraged by 4 things, which is actually quite a lot at this stage in the game. I summon in my Caragor, and then I head to the area where he was last seen. I find this pile of food on the floor. It seems like he's had a bit of a feast recently.
Feast is close by.
And as I'm heading deeper into the ruins looking for the rat, I am ambushed in a very spectacular way.
You maggot! Oh, good. A big, ugly beast to kill. And what's that you're riding on?
I always love it whenever they change their dialogue based on whatever mount you're riding. I would also like the brewer to join my forces, but we're gonna go after the rat first. I take off half his health with 1 stealth attack, and then I clatter an arrow off his noggin, but it's just too thick.
You know, there are things other than killing you that require my attention.
He charges towards me, but I shoot the barrel beside him, igniting everything in the area. I charge up an explosive attack, but it triggers a huge explosion. There must have been a body or something that also detonated. This, of course, enrages him, and he runs around the battlefield on fire. I actually retreat a little bit here because I'm very, very worried that he might die. I spot another random captain over to the right of the battlefield. Who the hell are you? I ignore that captain and I keep focusing on the cave rat, who is now not enraged and is ready to be dominated. Thank goodness he didn't perish in the flames. That definitely wouldn't have been the first captain that I've accidentally killed with fire.
I serve you, bright lord.
And there we go, we've got the cave rat powerhouse in our forces. Now let's see who this other random captain is. He is very, very squishy when being shot in the head with arrows. And oh my word, he is disgusting up close. Look at that face. I mean, he's literally called Horrors of the Disgusting. Yeah, I think we can recruit him. I quite like him, and I don't really think I've had many of these Nurgle orcs be spear throwers before, and yeah, I quite like him. In fact, I like him so much, he can become my bodyguard and maybe help me to recruit some more captains. Speaking of that, I spot a brewer over here. This time he's come down from the rooftop, and I can finally start to fight him. I take out some of the grunts around him, but one of the bodies goes off and downs me. And then this is the one time where a grunt actually tries to finish me off. He tries to claim the kill. I get behind the brewer and hit him with a flurry of explosive attacks. which does the job pretty quickly. I'm able to get in there, shame him down. Will he go crazy? No, not crazy. That's good, because I like his personality. I track him down to what I like to call the orc holiday home down here by the lovely docks. It's almost like a spa resort. All of my orcs seem to go here after being shamed. They're just trying to get away, recuperate, build back their strength. But no, join my army. We're gonna march on to the online fortresses. You are not getting any rest. Starting now as I command the brewer to go and track down and lure out the spike. I think he'll make a great addition to the team.
So,
Follow me! I've got eyes on them!
you'll never get me, sluggard.
Oh, what a great orc to lure another captain out. He takes off running, throwing firebombs behind him, which only enrages the spike. I sneak up and hit him with a stealth attack, which does a significant amount of damage, but he is very, very angry after this.
Never had a man come to get killed again. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me is that I got absolutely destroyed in the online fort, and I need an army. And I can see just how angry you are. I wait for him to calm down, and then I get on in there and recruit him to my forces. I think the spike is going to do a great job. Okay, now that I've got my army recruited, let's go and see who they're going to be facing first. We've got Bada Leo here. Starting off my team, we're going to pick my rage machine, the spike. The second orc going into the army is going to be the black painted brewer. The third captain is going to be this beautiful Olog, the cave rat. And then filling up the new fourth spot, we're going to go with the red painted raid leader, who has no face. That's so his enemies can't see how scared he is. And let's go, it looks like it's a beautiful sunrise and or sunset. God, this game is still very, very pretty. I am playing on the PS5, not on the PC. And I think it runs very well on this. I think the game looks great. I jump on my grog, break down the first gate, and look, one of my orcs is already down from the wall exploding. I start laying arrow after arrow into the noggin of the first Olog captain here, the Blast.
Foolish man! Try to conquer Dark Lord's fort! Better chance of conquering sun!
Did he just say I've got a better chance of conquering the sun? Interesting. Despite this team being a lot better, we are still taking some casualties here, but I'm able to get them back up. And then I finish off the Blast. How dare you say that it's going to be easier for me to conquer the sun? What the hell? I feel like I've never actually heard a captain talk about the sun. Did he say that though? Did I hear him correctly? Once he's gone, I jump on my grog and head to the next point, where I find just one captain defending it. Really? Just one captain? But I will say this captain looks pretty goddamn badass.
What auspicious time! You couldn't have chosen a better place to die.
Okay, let's get some arrows into this guy's noggin. I really wish that I could recruit him, but sadly I can't. I'm just gonna have to get my level up. And people in the comments, they always ask me, what is the best way to level up in Shadow of War? And honestly, it is just to raid fortresses. I hit him with the explosive attack to weaken him down enough. Enough so that we can go for a nice little walk. Let's go see the sunset together, mate. Let's go.
Do you know who I am?
Ah, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Beautiful day to throw an orc off a cliff. No, no, no. You're not getting the kill, mate. Absolutely not. I'm gonna outwalk you. Nope, stop hitting your friend. There we go. Somebody hit him from behind. Ah, would you look at that? Isn't that a beautiful sunset right there? And you're gone. I run back, take the point, and then we head on into the throne room.
You can't come in here! This is my throne room!
Where we meet a beautiful pickler orc. I love these guys. Let's get a closer look at his little jars here. I actually never really knew what this was, but now that I'm playing on a better console, I can see that they are pickled eyeballs. They also always have this little baby on their back, and I really wonder, what is that? Is it an orc? Is it a human? What do you guys think that is? Let me know in the comments. And backing him up, we've got this massive dragon Olog. I summon in my Caragor and my bodyguard, and then the Dragon Olog gets to work lighting everything ablaze. Just look at how badass he looks. The Pickler Overlord then puts on a banner, which I do shoot because the banner is very, very annoying. I get in close and I freeze the dragon. I try to land some blows, but the grunts get in my way. I then discover that the Pickler Overlord is soft-headed, so this is going to make this fight a lot easier. Every time I headshot him, he becomes dazed, and then I just lay in arrow after arrow. After this, it doesn't take long for him to start saying his final Pickler words.
How long do you think you'll hold this fort, human?
This has given me a very weird idea. I wish that whenever you defeat an Olog or an Orc captain, you should be able to make an armor set based around this Orc. Just imagine Talion rocking up in a Pickler outfit. He could choose what Orc captains he pickles. Imagine Talion the Alchemist with his potions and tonics. Anyway, these are all just things that are never going to happen because Monolith has been destroyed, although apparently Warner Brothers have begun to sell off assets, so maybe they'll sell the Nemesis system. Although now that I say that, I actually don't think that Warner Brothers even knows the Nemesis system exists. After that successful raid, I gained the ability to chain executions. Moving on to the next fort raid, and this one looks kind of interesting. We've got a bloody disgusting Hoglick, but this one looks pretty cool. He's got bottles and bottles of delicious poison. The orcs in this fortress are all around level 36 to 39, so about 10 levels higher than my army. But despite that, we are going to head in. I jump straight on my Grog's back and I run to break down the front gates. I do this even though I know my orcs are going to destroy the wall to the left and they're probably going to down one or two of them while doing this. At the first point, I spot my very first scorpion and I dive on off to try and get a closer look. We've also got a cool black painted orc right here, named the Nightbringer, and he seems to be wielding some sort of bone. He's also soft-headed, and most importantly, he's actually at a level that I can recruit. I would be very, very silly to pass up on this, so the Nightbringer is our new addition.
Oh, the fun we'll have!
I instruct him to join the raid because I don't know if you guys realize this, but the scorpions are usually goddamn savages. After getting hit by that Drake, I take it very, very personally and I return it to the ashes. When I turn around, I can see that two of my boys are down. This is going to be a common occurrence in these fort raids. While I'm healing them, there's a bit of drama happening as the Alchemist is taken out, which is very sad because I actually definitely would have recruited him. Looking up again, I can see that the Scorpion is still causing chaos as two more of my guys were down. I jump on over to them and it really seems like all I'm doing here is just getting my guys back up. It's only a matter of time until they are executed by a better captain. Or just any captain in this fortress because they all seem to be higher level than my orcs. And then while I'm managing all of this chaos, another cool orc that I definitely would have added to my shopping basket, the Golden, is struck down. He could have been the founder of the new Civil War series. But all is not lost as I'm finally able to beat down the Scorpion. And I'm going to shame him just to get him off the field. Yep, that's classic Scorpion behavior. Honestly, it would be really nice if one time when I look up while doing this fort raid that I didn't see one of my orc captains down. But nope, it doesn't seem like that's possible. Going on to the next point, I see Borgu the Flame of War. And he's already very, very angry. I can see that he's been taking out his anger on my rat Olog. I dive on down to have a stern word with him.
I was born in the crucible of a fire that you created. But I was born anew as the flame. Not the flame of knowledge, not the flame of truth. Oh no, I am the flame of war!
This is kind of sad because I actually haven't made my own Flame of War yet. I've just got to see this second-hand one that has nothing to do with me. He is very angry though, and as I'm getting up my Olog, one of my lads finally takes him out by taking his own arm off and then beating him with it. With that angry, fiery lad now humiliated and beheaded, we take the point. I do some healing because of course some of my orcs are down. And then upon arriving at the new point, I blow up their barrel of grog or poison. I don't actually really know what that was. I dive in and use a Frost Elven Blast, which sends this Caragor flying. Obviously, 2 of my orcs are down in the middle of the point, which is going to make it a little bit difficult because there are a lot of grunts around here and just general chaos. And in the middle of it, the spike comes through. I can see big things in this Spike's future as he takes out the Gorger. I use this distraction to try and get my 2 lads back up and into the fight. Once they're up, my Olog is downed. For God's sake. But then the Spike takes advantage of the commotion and takes out the ledge, and my God, the Spike might be my only good captain. He is holding together this raid.
While you're in here flailing that useless blade of yours around, my troops will be ripping yours to shreds. Come on, Tark. Time to show you how we hold our ground.
Usually you would be correct, Deathmonger, but on this rare occasion, the Spike is actually getting in some good kills here. Anyway, immediately after finishing our conversation, I down him and take his head. After that, the point falls, and whenever we move on into the fortress, I spot a beautiful drunken orc who I immediately dominate. 100% I'm taking this orc. I would never turn down a drunk lad like this.
Alright then.
After recruiting the drunk, I noticed that there is an Olog who is broken, and he looks like a sort of big Olog version of Baga. So I jump on his back and ride him around the battlefield. It's funny, I sometimes get comments where people didn't even know that they could do this, and all you have to do is basically just go and press the grab button on an Olog that is broken and you will jump on their back, although it is a little bit risky. And speaking of risky, disaster strikes. I don't know what has come over my raid leader, but he takes out my beautiful angry cave rat. Just look at the shock on his face here. He does not know what has happened and why it has gone down. What are you doing, raid leader? Maybe he thinks that if he takes out one of his own team, his face will come back. It must be some kind of red painted team dark magic. He must be like a sort of red blood mage or something. Enraged by this, I light up the only remaining captain in the vicinity. It should have been you, unashamed.
Remember me? You tried to humiliate me. You left your mark on me, but it didn't work. Instead of shame, I felt pride. I embraced the mark and was reborn. Now I return to finish you.
That wasn't me, Muzu. God, that was your Italian. Can't you tell us apart, you goddamn racist? Not all Gondorian rangers look the same, you know, alright? Shut up, man. I don't want to hear it. With the Unashamed now finally shut up and me grabbing his rare ring, I get my lads back up and we take the point. I finish off the fire-breathing Drake. I take out the final defending captain, the Fearless. And then I head on into the throne room.
Come in, come in. I've been looking for a way to brighten up this room, and I think your guts will do the job perfectly.
The only thing that will decorate this room is your blood.
I don't know. I think as Italians' comebacks go, that was a bit of a weak one, to be honest. It's quite sad that we've seen more Hoglicks than we've seen Bagas in this playthrough so far. I summon in my bodyguard and my Caragor, I take out this charging savage, and then I jump behind Hoglick to try and get some blows on him. But as you can see, I've got quite a lot of machine armor equipped, so a lot of bodies just kind of explode randomly. This causes general chaos in the throne room, and as you can see, there is a lot of fire and poison that is spreading around here. I focus Hoglick with a flurry of explosive attacks, And then he summons in his own sappers, which cause a huge explosion when I shoot one of them. That honestly could be one of the biggest explosions that I've seen in a throne room. This leaves Hoglick very, very weak. I actually could have dominated him there for a second, then I realized, no, I'm not going to shame him. I want the clean kill.
Go ahead. Take my fort. It won't be any good without your innards decorating it anyway.
That's actually a really good line. Wow. I love that line. That was a callback to what he said when I first came into the throne room. That is so good. I feel like I've never really heard that before, or maybe I just didn't take notice of it. That is another fort conquered in under 9 minutes. We only get a silver chest though. Not actually that good to be honest, but bear in mind, I've only got an assault rating of 400. And as we all saw, my orcs are trash, except for the spike. My raid leader even took out our own Olog, so we definitely need some improvements in that field. We jump straight into the chaos of the next fort raid because my recording did not work, but here we are anyway. I have replaced my cave rat with another orc, and let's see how well it pays off. We've got Horza the Strangler here, and he is the only guy defending this point, so he is not long for this world. And I finish him off with my second favorite type of execution. The first, of course, being when I throw them off a very, very small ledge. With that, we take the first point.
You have managed to gain a foothold in my fort. No matter, you will soon be killed and your army scattered. This is the will of Sauron.
God, who doesn't love a Ravager Olog? Look at how cool this guy looks. Is that a flamethrower or is that like a grapple hook? Get over here weapon he's got on his back. I lay some arrows into his noggin, I dominate, and then I shame him down. I just didn't have it in me to take out this Olog. We take the point, and as we're moving on to the next one, we find quite a nice looking pirate orc. So I decide to blow him up. I hit him up against this wall and just start laying into him while he's dazed. Look at this, he is going nowhere right now. He's level 39, so I can't recruit him, which makes me very, very sad. I'm gonna have to give him this sweet touch of death. After that, at the next point, we then meet another Hoglick. My god, they have infested the online PlayStation fort raids. It's about time I got here. I need to tip the scales back in Bagga's favor. Before I wrap this fort up and head on into the throne room, I partake in my favorite hobby. Oh, would you look at that? A very, very small ledge indeed. There's really nothing like that that sets you up for a lovely throne room fight.
So none of those useless doogs could stop you. I suppose I'll have to kill you myself.
Brave words for someone hiding from battle.
Yeah, pretty okay, Talion. Also, I got some new armor. What do you guys think? And the Overlord, I quite like the Grog Catcher. I think it's just the antler helmet. It reminds me of like Robert Baratheon whenever he was young and he was fighting his rebellion. I tactically picked apart the Grog Catcher by taking over all of his Caragors, jumping behind him and finishing him off with an explosive attack. The most cinematic way to beat a captain. Another raid down and my level jumps up to 479. We are cooking with fire now, lads, and look at that. Only took me less than 7 minutes to get a gold ranking. After that successful raid, I go up a level and I finally unlock the ability to summon in my very own Grog, which is kind of interesting because I just beat the Grog Tamer as well, so that makes sense that I got that ability from him. Checking out the next fort raid, and things don't look too good as I can see. 2 level 56 orcs and 1 level 57. This could go very, very bad. As you can see, my best orc is currently the Spike, and he is only level 28. And their overlord is literally called the Dangerous. This might go very, very badly. Anyway, let's get on in there. You know, I've never really used this armor before, but I actually quite like it. I break down the front gate with my grog, and I meet the Cursed, who's level 56. He's level goddamn 56. What are my guys gonna do? They seem to all be enraged, just standing outside the walls. What are they gonna do to this guy? I mean, there only is one of him, so maybe if all 4 of my lads gang up on him, we might have a chance. Although I'm doing some pretty good damage with my big monster here. Crisis averted. It seems like he was not beast-proof. In fact, he took a lot of damage from the massive foot of my grog. Because he was the only captain defending this point, we take it immediately. This is going very, very well. The next point basically goes the exact same, with my grog destroying this orc captain. We took the square, and then we took the ward. And then at the next point we met an uncrushable orc captain.
You've been cautious so far, Tug. Let's see if you kept anything in reserve.
I think now we'd met our match. There only was one of him, but he had already downed 3 of my orcs. Things were not looking good. I jumped down there and tried my best to save them while taking out this captain. I used the point capture animation to cause a bit of a distraction to try and get as many of my lads as I can back on their feet. I have to break away though on the 3rd revive because he is just shooting me in the back. I didn't check if he's got no chance, so I can't take the risk. I move in to try and finish him off here and now.
My overlord will not be defeated so easily.
Okay, man, let's see if I even make it there first. Once I pull my blade out, I try to sprint back over to save my guys, and I'm actually able to make it there in time, getting them both up. I then see this badass red-painted Dreamer Orc. Look at him. God, I wish I could recruit him. I dive on down and land a blow, but it doesn't really do very much damage, probably because he's quite a high level.
You've worked your way through the ranks, Pigskin, but you're about to learn how an overlord keeps his throne.
And he's not wrong as he starts peppering me with arrows. Thank goodness he doesn't have no chance though. I cut the arrow in half and I get back on my feet. Inspired by my near-death experience, me and the boys then swarm him. It's the raid leader who takes him out. I guess he was maybe a little bit jealous that I thought that this was a slightly cooler red-painted orc. I walk on into the throne room, slightly surprised that I'm actually here.
You want to know the truth about this fort, Ranger? It's really quite small. Mordor is very large. It teems with orcs. So many, I don't know how you could even count them.
Alright, let's take a look at the Dangerous here. He's okay.
At a time.
Not good by level 85 standards, but pretty good for this level, I would say. But he's not arrow-proof, which is a big flaw, but as you can see from this footage, I laid quite a lot of arrows into his noggin and it doesn't really do much damage, so I actually end up resorting to this. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I never really use this ability, but in this case, I am going to do it because I was doing pretty much no damage to this guy. He is a much, much higher level than me, and I'll be honest, I want to see what the next harder fort raid is going to be like, so we're going to shame down the Dangerous right now. With the fort now successfully conquered and the Dangerous shamed, I go all the way up to level 506. And I waste no time in checking out the next raid, and oh my goodness, it seems like it's a completely full fortress and all of the orcs seem to be evil, the high 40s or low 50s. This might not go very well. Just look at these orcs compared to my orcs. This is also the first time that I've seen an undead captain in my current playthrough. But anyway, let's get on in there with my new armor, still looking pretty cool. I smashed down the front gate, excited to see what the first orcs are going to look like. But to my utter shock, as I enter, I see that 3 of my orcs have been taken out by the goddamn wall exploding. I get them all back on their feet, they swarm the point, and then I somehow end up fighting this orc all the way outside of the fortress. I weaken him down with my explosive attacks using my threshing sword. And then I fight him all the way over to this beautiful cliff edge. So you know what this means. Ah, doesn't that just make you feel alive? So alive that I run back, take the point, and as we head over to the next one, we check out the orcs, and we've got a Caragor fief right there. We've got the knife, and the Harry, the first undead captain I've ever seen. But then my low level finally catches up to me as my bone snapper, my red painted lovely bald bone snapper, is taken out by the knife. I head back over to try and help my remaining captains, but I am swarmed by this undead Harry Olaf. But I'm able to counter the deadly blow, and then I have a riveting conversation with this hairy lad.
Next time!
I break away from him, my orcs swarm in, and then I charge up my massive threshing sword explosive attack to try and take on this undead captain. But up until now, I'm not really able to do much damage to him. This could be the end of the run. With only one more chance left, I try to target the knife. At least I can focus on him while he's currently broken.
You think I'm about to keel over? What do I look like? A delicate pink skin?
But he's got goddamn death-defying, the most annoying trait that I think an orc can have. So he basically gets all of his health back. And the Harry is still here hunting me down. Even when I hit him with a flurry of explosive attacks, it just doesn't seem to faze him. But while I'm focusing on this juggernaut, I forget about the knife. I get stunned by the Harry's attack, and the knife moves in to finish off the job, with Talion falling right beside the potato sacks. This fortress's orcs may have been a little bit too high level for me in this current state. My orcs just simply are not powerful enough to take them on. But I think all that this means is that I'm gonna have to build up a stronger army. Let me know in the comments, guys, if that's something you'd like to see in the future, and thank you for watching.